Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And as usual, I'm just out here double checking that I'm live on my business page where I want to be and making sure that I can see comments and things coming in from you guys. So if you are, looks like I'm live where I want to be, so that's good. So if you guys are hopping in, feel free to say hello when you pop in to watch the video. Otherwise, feel free to take a peek on replay too. I always love having you guys watch it later, and feel free to ask questions. I'm always happy to answer. So, hey Connie, I see you hopped on too. So thanks so much for joining today. So today I'm going to show you how I made this card with the Mountain Air stamp set bundle, which is a new bundle that is coming in the January to June 2020 mini catalog. So I have to always stop and think it and say it the right way. So hey Nancy, glad you could join today too. So this is a new bundle that's coming in the catalog, and it's fantastic. There are some really good images in here. One thing that's really cool is this stamp set is reversible. So it doesn't stamp exactly the same way when you flip it around, but it sort of gives you a mirror image look for the mountains in the background and the tree lines, so you can make it look a little more artistic if you want to stamp things in the background, which is, hey Christine, thanks for hopping in today from Minnesota. Are you freezing? It's raining here today, so all of our snow is disappearing quickly. So for the reverse image, I actually did use that on the two mountain images that I stamped in the background here. So it just gives you a little different look, a couple different options with the stamp set. So it's definitely kind of cool. I also used it on the sun and on the clouds. So definitely some cool images here that you can get from this one stamp set. And again, this is the Mountain Air stamp set and dies, and those will be available in the upcoming mini catalog starting on January 3rd. They're available now for demonstrators to purchase, so if you are interested in joining now and getting your hands on the product early, that's a good thing. So let me know if you're interested. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on that. Before I get started on the card, there are a couple of things that I want to make sure. Sorry, I'm trying to stack stuff up. My office is a mess today, so I'm trying to get things out of the way. So a couple things that I want to make sure that you know about. The first one is, hey Karen, thanks for hopping in, and Roz too. Glad you guys made it. So it is a really good stamp set, Karen, and it's, yeah, the dies that go with it. Actually, my favorite dies, and I didn't even use them on this card, are the tree dies. They're very cool. So it's a good bundle. So, all right. So I did want to make sure that everybody knows that Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping tomorrow with any order of $50 or greater placed through the online store. You can visit my website and find a link to my online store there, which is stampwithamyk.com. And so they are doing free shipping, like I said, on any order of $50 or greater tomorrow through the online store. So definitely go take a look at that and get your orders put in, get your wish list ready, and get everything shipped out and ready to go before the holidays. So get your own gifts if nobody else will get them for you. So, and get free shipping on it. So that's a nice little bonus from Stampin' Up! Again, it is only 24 hours and only from 12:01 a.m. Mountain Time, December 11th until 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time on December 11th. So translate that to whatever your time zone is, but make sure that you get it on the free shipping offer. One other nice new thing that Stampin' Up! Has let us know is they now have some die cutting plates that you can purchase again. So yay, I was happy to see that. They're in the online store today. The item number is 150815, and they are $11 each, or for the set of 2 of the cutting plates. And they will work in your die cutting machines. I have been asked a couple times if they will work with a Big Shot, and yes, as far as I know, they will work with a Big Shot. I don't actually have them in my hands. It is indicated that they will, so I'm assuming that they will. So we should be good to go with that. So they should work with whatever your die cutting machine is that you got right now. And then there's still the 3D embossing folder plate, which has been available for a little while. So if you do not have that, make sure that you get your embossing folder plate. And as an added bonus, get them tomorrow so you can get your free shipping on everything. So again, website information is down below, contact information. So if you have any questions, let me know. Let me set those aside and get them out of the way. Couple more things. So the Stampin' Up! Has got this fantastically cute little new mini trimmer that will be available for anybody who is joining during celebration. You can get this cute little paper cutter and a sampler pack of Designer Series paper to go with it, 6x6 Designer Series paper, and a free stamp set of your choice if you join during celebration. But I'm showing this to you now because demonstrators can actually pre-order it. So if this is something that you're wanting now and you're wanting to join, go ahead and hop in now and join. You can add this as part of your starter kit. You can add items from the occasions catalog as part of your starter kit if you would like to. You can pre-order from it once you've joined. Demonstrators are actually allowed to pre-order from the new mini catalog, and you'll start earning celebration stuff early and all of that. So if you're interested in joining, definitely give me a holler. Let me know. I'm happy to talk with you more about it, and I can show you the little mini trimmer as well, mini paper cutter as well. So also wanted to show you just real quickly, these are the designs that are in the paper pack that you'll be getting. So these are from the new mini catalog, some upcoming designer series papers. So some good ones in here. And you get 4 each of these designs. So good ones from kind of a nice sampling of the different designer papers that we have here in the upcoming mini catalog. And then back side of those. And then the final 2 that I have to show you are from the Celebration Designer Series paper. So definitely some good Designer Series papers in that little pack. And again, these items will be free in addition to getting a free stamp set of your choice if you join during Celebration. But like I said, if you join now, you can get your hands on them early and get pre-orders in and do that sort of thing if you're interested in doing that. So again, let me know if you have questions. We'd be happy to have you join our team with us. We've got a good little group kind of spread out across the country, and we do almost all of our chatting and discussing online. So no matter where you live, we'd be happy to have you join us. All right. Well, 2 more things. The paper trimmer, Stampin' Up! Has got it. It's in the online store now. So this is the regular paper trimmer, the standard one that you can use for cutting almost anything. So, hey, Jean, glad that you were able to join from North Dakota, even though you're freezing. Whew. Like I said, it's warm here today, kind of strangely warm. All the snow is melting around our house. So, all right, last thing, we have the Christmas time is here. Product suite, these products are all still available and in the online store. So if you're interested in any of those, let me know. And let me know if you have any questions. So let's get started, I think, on the card. How does that sound? So again, this is the card we're going to be making today with a Mountain Air stamp set. And I started out with Night of Navy card base, and it's cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. So thanks, Jean. I appreciate that. And then I've got a little piece of the Country Club Designer Series paper, and this is again coming from the upcoming mini catalog that we have. So this is just, again, it's a good pack of Designer Series paper, good for lots of occasions, definitely good for masculine cards, which is something that I know I always struggle with, is finding good masculine papers and stamp sets, and the new catalog has got quite a few in it, so definitely excited to see that. So using a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. I will be posting all of the cardstock cuts. I will try to remember to say things as I go along, but I often forget, I get distracted. So I will be posting all the details on my blog, stampwithamyk.com, for tomorrow. So this is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And again, it's to the Designer Series paper. Ooh, -17 with a wind chill. Ugh, that sounds horrible. We're in the 40s today, so I can't complain too much. And I'm not going to complain about rain at all, because I'd rather have rain in 40s than -17 wind chill. So that sounds just yucky. So I went ahead and pre-cut this. Kind of the main focal image on the card, I used one of the stitched rectangles dies, and it's this one in particular, which is the 3rd from the largest one that we have, and cut out a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here with Night of Navy. Oops, and of course I put this on the backwards way around. So again, I showed you in the on the stamp set, but it's got the more detailed image on one side, and then you flip it over and actually use the backwards side up if you want the more solid image, which is what we're going to start with today. So I've got a little Night of Navy ink here, and we're going to ink up the mountains, the wrong side of the mountains, back side of the mountains, whatever you want to call them. I guess it's not the wrong side of the mountains, back side. And we are going to go ahead and stamp that off once, and then find about the middle, a little bit lower than the middle, and we're going to stamp on our piece of Whisper White cardstock. All right, so I'm going to close that up before I stick my fingers in it, set that aside, and then I'm going to clean this off quickly because we're going to use Balmy Blue as our next color, and I don't want those two mixed together on my ink pads. As much as blue is blue, it's a lot different of a blue. So clean it off in between times and get the Balmy Blue ink pad out. Ooh, negative 46 last night in North Dakota. Boo! That, again, sounds miserable. I grew up in Iowa, so we weren't usually quite that cold, but yeah, we had our fair share of cold days there too, so I don't really miss the extreme cold weather like we used to get there. Yeek. So, going to do a little stamping with Balmy Blue here in the background. And again, it's nice. These are photopolymer stamps, so you can see right through them and see where you're stamping, hopefully, and get things lined up where you want it to be. And then I'm going to clean this off again, and then we're going to flip it over actually, because we'll be using the other side to stamp in just a second. So flip it over on here, and we're going to stamp the more detailed image a little bit later. And somehow I always end up blue for whatever reason. Blues and greens end up all over my hands. And I don't know how I do it. I guess I just make a mess. So for the sun image, I actually started with the reverse side in crushed curry ink. Going to ink it up here and make sure I got it good and inky. We're going to stamp that off and then stamp the reverse image for the sun. And then we're going to clean it off again and flip it over. And we're going to stamp the more detailed image. And this image also fits on the 1-inch circle punch. So if you do like I did the first time you stamped it, and I made a mess and stamped it all kinds of crazy, I actually just restamped it, punched it out, layered it over the top, and you couldn't tell. See, there I've stamped it a little crazy again. So we can fix that later. I will show you how. Well, actually, I'll just go ahead and do it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restamp this. And then I actually brought my 1-inch circle punch out because I was afraid I'd do this. Because it's a little hard when I have the video camera right up above. I can't get right up above and see what I'm doing very well. So then I just sort of put it down and I think I get it lined up, and then I don't like that. So we're just going to stamp the detail image, flip it over, and then stamp the more solid image stamped off once over the top of it. Set that aside. And then we take the 1-inch circle punch and we just punch it out, and we will correct the mistake that I made. Well, it'll be all covered up so you won't even know that it was there. But before we do that, I want to stamp the clouds on the background in Balmy Blue. And again, I'm using the reverse side, the more solid side. Showcase my talent. Of course, Jean puts a comment up about how I showcase my talents just right when I screw something up too. But thank you, I appreciate that. So inking up the back side of the clouds, stamping it on the scrap paper once, and then stamping it over. We're going to do the same thing again. Going to stamp a second set of clouds over here. All right. And then we're going to go back and we're going to fix the boo-boo that I made with the sun. And use a little bit of snail to adhere the 1-inch circle punch over the top of it. And there, it's all fixed. You can't even see that I made the goof. And I'm glad that I goofed it up ahead of time too, so that I had a plan for fixing it if I goofed it up again. So I've got the little bird image here, again from the Mountaineer stamp set, and we're going to use Tuxedo Black Memento ink. We're going to stamp the little birds over here. Get that one closed up and out of the way. And then we're basically done stamping on this part of the panel. We're going to layer some things over the top of it here in just a second, but we need to get some stamping done first. So I went ahead and pre-cut the sides of things with the stitched rectangles die so that it's all learning. Yes, no mistakes in stamping. See, opportunities for embellishment is what I've always been told. So you don't make mistakes. It's just an opportunity to embellish something, which is sort of what I did. So, all right, so we're going to pull the mountain image back out. And again, I flipped the stamp set over, and I've now got the more detailed image up. And we're going to use a little bit of Night of Navy ink to ink up the more detailed image from the Mountaineer stamp set. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp it like this. All right. And again, I've pre-cut the sides, so if I need to, I can trim down the bottom, which I actually shouldn't need to on that one, so we should be good to go. I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to get the trees out, and we're going to stamp the tree image a couple of times here as well. So this is the tree line image, and again, this can be used, the back side can be used for more of a artistic sort of shadow look, and then the front side has got the more detailed images for the trees on it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it up once, and then put it down here on this piece of paper. Actually, I'm going to flip it like this, I think. And we'll stamp it kind of right across the middle. And then I'm going to ink it up a second time. Stamp it on scrap paper. And then stamp it across this panel in a little bit different place, I think, than I did the last one, hopefully. All right, so that just gives it a little different look, a little more kind of layered look. Set those aside and get them out of the way here. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. These, here we go. I was going to say the Majestic Mountain dies are the ones that coordinate with this stamp set. The mountain, it actually cuts out all the way around the mountain, so we don't need to worry so much about that one, I guess. And then the tree line, it actually just cuts the top of the tree line, so you can make the bottom of it go as long or as short as you want to on your card. So let me go ahead and get the mountains cut out here first. So do you guys all have your Christmas cards? While I'm over here, I'll try to keep talking to you a little bit. Do you all have your Christmas cards out in the mail? I actually finally just got all my family Christmas cards done today, and they're going to the post office, which I am so happy to have that done. That's always one of those big tasks that I sit and kind of fret about forever and then get all stressed out about it, and then I finally get it done, and it's just like this huge weight. Oh, phew, thank goodness. So hopefully you all are in the same as I am, and are getting those Christmas cards out to everybody, so you can stop stressing about those and stop worrying about having to get that stuff done. So most of my Christmas stuff is done. I'm thankful to say that I have a little bit of Christmas shopping for the kids left to do, but for the most part, everything's done. So sorry if I'm wiggling the camera a little bit as I'm die cutting here. All right, so we've got our one set of trees done. I'm going to do the other set of trees here real quickly. And get those die cut. All right, probably banged into the camera 15 times too, so okay, so I think I've got my pieces all here and getting ready to start the assembly process. So we're going to add the mountains in over the top of the previous mountains that we've stamped. So I'm going to adhere those down. And then this I actually need to trim off just a little bit. And you can either use your dies or your paper trimmer, or just hack at it like with the scissors like I did. Since this really isn't going to be, you don't need to have a real neat edge at the bottom of it because nobody's going to see it underneath all the layers. And then the final piece we're going to add on here will be this one in the front. And I will need to actually die cut the bottom of this with my stitched rectangles die. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of figure out about where I want it to be, and then run this back through the die cutting machine as well. So you all having a good Tuesday? Hopefully you are. And like I said, hopefully it's not so crazy busy for you. Like I said, I'm always happy to get done with the Christmas card stuff and move on to something else a little more fun to do. So Jean says she doesn't have her Christmas cards done yet, but she just got her stamp set, the Sip Sip Hooray stamp set. So might do New Year's cards instead. That's a good plan. So, and Catherine is saying that she got her Christmas cards mailed out last week. Look at you, wrapping and all that already. I have done no wrapping. And I'm sure the kids are wondering what in the world, why there's nothing under the tree. But, you know, it's one of those things. I just only have so much time in the day, and that, you know, Christmas isn't here yet, so I'm not worrying about the wrapping of the presents until right before Christmas. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start adhering the pieces together here. Hey, Carol, thanks for hopping in, and no problem. Glad that you got home in time to see the video. So, and if you're really dying to, you can always go back and watch it again after we end and see anything that you might have missed. So, all right, so we're going to add in the next layer of trees here. And I'm just using snail, or you can use liquid glue or whatever it is that you want to use to adhere them together. and just layering it up as we go along here. All right. So that is it for the kind of the focal image on the card front. And then I'm going to use, I think, a little bit of, hey, Debbie, thanks for hopping in. So Connie says she's cleaning the carpet. Lots of presents to be bought. Why are you cleaning the carpet? Good heavens. Wait till after Christmas. Everything's just going to get dirty again when everybody's spilling their food on it. At least that's my theory. I'll vacuum it, but that's the extent of it. So using a little bit of liquid glue to adhere the focal image to the card front. And I try to get it centered and straight, which some days is more challenging than others, but hopefully. This is kind of nice because it's got the little grid lines on your background. The main thing is just trying to get it centered here. So, oh, plant overfill mess. So, all right, so we got that adhered down. Then I went ahead earlier and did a little bit of pre-cutting on this so that you didn't have to watch me stamping and cutting every single little detail on this, but this is from the Clubhouse stamp set and the dies that coordinate with it. I think, of course, I didn't write down the name of the die set. Hopefully it's something similar to Clubhouse, but this is another new bundle that's coming in the mini catalog. So if you have golfers in your life, definitely a good stamp set and die set for them. There's a little banner die in here that fits perfectly over the happy birthday. So I've stamped it on balmy blue cardstock in Night of Navy ink, and then did the pre-cutting with the stamp set over here, or with the die set. I'm going to add a couple glue dots, and I took a small piece of the Country Club twine combo pack twine, and I used the garden green one in particular. It's garden green, basic black, is it Poppy Parade, I think, and then Night of Navy that are in this one. So using a couple of glue dots, and we're going to adhere just a little bit of wound up twine on the back of the sentiment. Thank you, Jean. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you like it. So, and again, there wasn't really like any specific rhyme or reason to how I did this. I just wound it around twice. Left a little bit of the excess twine. And, whoop. Of course, I got too much at the bottom now, not enough at the top. There we go. That seems to be a little better. Then I'm going to take one more glue dot, which, oh, there. I was going to say, I just had them right here. Where did I put my darn glue dots? So this is what happens when I get too much stuff on my desk. Then I can't find anything. So do a little bit, one more little glue dot on there to finish out this piece of twine. Make sure that it looks fairly decent from the front, which I think that looks pretty good. Then we're going to take a couple little mini Stampin' dimensionals because they fit perfectly on the back of this sentiment. And we're going to adhere this onto the card front with the mini Stampin' dimensionals, if I can get them picked off. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining, and thank you. I appreciate that. So, oh, Roz says, yeah, the twine pack is good. Definitely. And it's thinner twine, which I like much better. And Catherine says that these are both on our wish list. They're good. It's a good, like I said, there's a lot of good masculine stuff in this catalog, which is kind of rare because a lot of times it's a little more towards the feminine side, but there are quite a few good masculine cards. So, all right, so that's basically it for the card front that I've done today. And then the inside of the card, we're just doing a little bit of stamping. And a little bit of designer series paper. So I actually picked the birthday sentiment from the Timeless Tropical stamp set, which is also coming in the upcoming catalog. And it does have dies that coordinate with the stamp set. This is probably one of my favorites, so you'll probably see this an awful lot. But I used the birthday sentiment from there, and we're going to stamp it in Night of Navy ink. And again, I don't know how in the world I made such a mess with the blue ink all over my fingers. I have it on the ledge of this. I'm assuming that I keep sticking my fingers in it, but I'm a mess. So, all right, so let's see if we can get this on here and somewhat straight. All right, and right side up, that's an added bonus. Close up the Night of Navy ink. And then we're going to add a little bit of the designer series paper from the Country Club DSP pack, one that coordinates with the designer paper on the front. I just trimmed off, started with a 6-inch long piece and just trimmed a 1/2 inch off. And saved it for the inside of the card. Otherwise, the 5.5 went out on the front of the card. So kind of nice that works out as well as it does. And looks like I got it on there fairly straight. And we're going to trim off the excess. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad that you guys are liking the card. So I appreciate that. Nancy and Christine, I see you're posting comments out there too. So I'm going to use a little bit of snail to stick this to the inside of the card base. And hopefully I'll get that stuck on straight as well and not end up with any ink smudges because my fingers are all covered in ink. And then going to just use the bone folder, maybe, if I can dig it out from my pile of stuff. Give it a good crease, and that is it for the card today. So a pretty easy one, actually. And like I said, I like a lot of good masculine stamp sets in this one, and some good kind of general things. Actually, I don't know. I guess this is sort of, you know, this would work for a man or a woman. I'm not going to say it's only masculine. So so it is a nice stamp set. I love it. I love the dies that go with it. So, and you know, me, anything with dies, I'm always sold on. So all right, I think that's it. Good heavens, I went way long today. Apparently I talked a lot. So thank you so much for joining me today and for hanging around for the full 25 minutes that I've been chattering away. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any. Again, I'll be posting all the details on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. So feel free to follow along if you don't. And I'll be uploading this to YouTube and all that sort of thing too, so you can watch the video again later if you'd like to. Thanks for joining, and I will plan to be here next week, Tuesday, with another new project. Talk to you later.